The scent was nice, but the longevity was horrible. The performance was horrible, and I was just like, nah, not for that amount of money. I don't even know what made me to think that I was going to like that fragrance. My people, welcome back to the channel. And if it's your first time seeing my face, then salutations. My name is Priscilla, aka Prissy, aka Cece, aka Ela, aka Silla, aka Miss Prissy, baby. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and become part of the family. I want to start off by saying a massive thank you to each and every one of you that is already subscribed to the channel, and for everyone who views my channel. I am so grateful. Thank you for dropping comments. Thank you for being with me on this journey. Thank you for supporting me. I see you. I appreciate you. Now to today's video. In today's video, I will be telling you some of the fragrances that I decluttered in 2021. So these fragrances did not make it to 2022. So unfortunately, I do not have the bottles to show you. But I'll say these are some of my worst purchases of 2021. So if that's something you're interested in, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Continue. Disclaimer. One man's meat is another man's poison. Starting off, the first fragrance that I purchased and decluttered almost immediately in 2021 was Lost Cherry. This fragrance is by Tom Ford. There were many things that attracted me to this fragrance. First of all, the bottle. I have said on the channel here that I do like fragrances in red bottles. I also liked the fact that I had that cherry note. I just felt like it was going to be something I'd like. I don't mind cherry in fragrances. You all know that I talked about Kayali Invite Only Amber 23 that has got the cherry note. I think the main problem with Lost Cherry for me was the price versus the performance. When this fragrance arrived, I spent time with it. It was a blind buy. Tom Ford fragrances are not cheap. We're talking almost £200 for some bottles of his perfume. It wasn't just lasting long on me. I mean, I would wear it and after 2 hours this fragrance would literally disappear, and I was just like, nah. It's very difficult to return perfumes in England, but because I bought it from, I think I bought it off eBay from memory. I think I bought it off eBay, so I was able to return it, thank goodness, and got my money back. It was just not doing it for me. It was a nice fragrance. The scent was nice, but the longevity was horrible. The performance was horrible, and I was just like, nah, not for that amount of money. The next fragrance I had to go was from the house of Clive Christian. I purchased Clive Christian's C for Women. I was very intrigued by this house. I had heard so much about it, and I was like, okay. I looked at all the fragrances and I eventually went with C. When this fragrance arrived, it was just, I don't know, it was just too strong for me. It was just too mature for me. It had the note of tuberose in it, and as you guys know, tuberose is not my favorite note in fragrances. But in that particular fragrance, I don't know if it's because it was a combination of tuberose and ylang ylang, and it was just too complex for me. It's not a bad fragrance, it was just not my style. I'm more like a girly girl, sweet floral kind of person, and just Clive Christian C was just it was just a bit too much for me, and it was quite expensive as well. So in fact, I think at the time it was the most expensive fragrance I had in my collection, so I had to let it go. The next fragrance on the list is one I feel really bad about talking about, because at the beginning of my fragrance journey, it was a fragrance that I absolutely loved. I talked about on this channel, I recommended to people, and it was Xerjoff Lira. But I'm allowed to change my mind. When I started to properly grow my fragrance collection and I started my channel, it was one of the first fragrances I purchased. As my journey continued, I think I discovered other things that I loved more. Lira is a nice fragrance. It's just that it wasn't projecting enough on my skin. Like Xerjoff fragrances in general, it's not every Xerjoff fragrance that has the best performance. I mean, when I eventually found Eba Pura, I just had to let Lira go. Honestly, when I found Eba Pura, I had to let Lira go. I then found Italica as well, and I prefer Italica to Lira. Kind of have that same Lira vibe with Donna by Trussardi and with Mont Blanc Signature, that lemon cake sort of feel. Loads of people love that fragrance, but they're just things I prefer to Lira. I had to let Lira go to a friend who absolutely loves it. Next on the list is a designer fragrance. This is from the house of Nina Ricci, and this was Rose L'Extase. I purchased this fragrance because loads of people were talking about it in the fragrance community, and it's an affordable fragrance. It was a blind buy for me. It arrived and it just smelled very grown. It just smelled like, it kind of, I don't know, there was something in it that kind of reminded me of Elizabeth Arden Red Door, and again, that is not my vibe. Some people compare it to MFK Oud Satin Mode, and guess what? I don't like Oud Satin Mode. I sampled Oud Satin Mood and I was just like, nah, I don't get the hype. I don't like Oud Satin Mood. I'm not surprised that I'm not really a big fan of Nina Ricci. This was one that I gave eventually to my grandma because I just felt like it was more appropriate for her.
70 years old man.
And it smelled very similar to Red Door, like I said, and that's my grandma's signature scent. I had to let Nina Ricci Like Stars go. It was just not my vibe. Next on the list was Tuberoza. Now, Tuberoza was a fragrance that a friend of mine recommended to me.
Men can lie.
Again, this was a blind buy. Most of the fragrances on this list were blind buys, so a lot of my fragrances are blind buys anyways.
Lord have mercy.
Tuberoza arrived. I didn't like it. Then I liked it. Then I didn't like it.
You're very stupid.
I was just like, if I am not sure about a fragrance and it's going from I like it, I don't like it, okay, I'm trying to like it, I almost found myself trying to like it. It's a beast mode tuberose fragrance. Like, if you're looking for a tuberose fragrance that will project, like you'll be here and people will be smelling you from 100 miles away, that is definitely the fragrance to get. But I don't like tuberose. I don't even know what made me to think that I was going to like that fragrance when I don't like tuberose. My mom loves it. It's Nishane Tuberoza.
Oh my god, I love this. I love this.
So my mom has it now. I'm happy that it's with somebody who appreciates it more. The next fragrance I had to go, unfortunately, was Moschino Toy 2 Bubblegum. It's a nice bubblegum fragrance, however, it just didn't suit my lifestyle. I couldn't really find a part of my life to fit that fragrance into. Not to work, not to go to bed. I have enough fragrances that I would like to wear rather to go to bed. It didn't really fit into anything in my life. Like, I couldn't really see myself wearing it to anywhere in particular. I had to give it to somebody who, again, had better use for it and who it fits more into their lifestyle. It's a sweet fragrance. It's got the minty note in it. It's got the bubblegum note in it. The bottle is a teddy bear. It's cute. Maybe 10 years ago, I would have been dying to own that fragrance. You know, the High School Musical days. I used to love those type of things. But right now, as much as I love girly, cute, pink things, I have my life. Like, I have my gay life, my real life, and Moschino Toy 2 Bubblegum is just not fitting. There's no part of my life that is really toyish that fragrance can really fit into. I had to let it go. Next on the list, if you follow my channel judiciously, you'll know this one is coming. It is Dolce & Gabbana The Only One 2. I bought this fragrance. I bought the Only One and I bought the Only One 2 to do a review for you guys and to also decide which one I preferred. I eventually preferred the Only One because it was more of that caramel warm fragrance that I'd prefer to wear during the winter autumn months. The Only One 2 had a fruity note. It was nice, but it's just I preferred the Only One and I did not want to keep both just for the sake of keeping it. Finally on the list today is Kayali Eden Juicy Apple One. I recently reviewed this fragrance on my channel. Well, is it recently? In December, I reviewed this fragrance on my channel. It's the latest release from the house of Kayali. Really girly, fruity, young vibe, you know, fragrance. I loved it. I was wearing it a lot to bed, but my baby sister loved it even more. If she didn't want it, maybe I would have kept it. But the reason why it's on this list, so it wasn't necessarily, I won't say Eden Juicy Apple was a declutter because I didn't go out of my way to declutter it. My sister wanted it and I gave it to her. But the reason why it's still on this declutter list is, will I be repurchasing it? Do I love it enough to repurchase it? The answer is no. Hold on, hear me out, and it's because of the price. I just personally feel like with my Victoria's Secret body splashes or Bath and Body Works splashes, I can still get that same vibe for cheaper. So I don't know if I really want to spend £76 getting another bottle of Eden Juicy Apple. But Kayali, if you want to send me a bottle, I do not mind. It's a really beautiful fragrance. Like I said, I would not have decluttered it, but my baby sister liked it more, so I had to let it go. It's sacrifice, a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice. Don't mind me, guys. Anywho, there you have it. Those are the fragrances that I decluttered. I don't think, have I forgotten any? Have I missed out any? I don't think so. Go ahead and let me know in the comment section if you want me to do another video letting you know my best purchases of 2021, because I'm happy to do that. Also, let me know in the comment section if you own any of these fragrances I've decluttered. What do you think about them? Go ahead and do all of that good stuff, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Guys, please like, please share, please subscribe. And until I see you again in my next video, because I look forward to seeing you again in my next video, stay beautiful, stay blessed. Hi. and bye. Probably say some of my worst purchases of 2020. So I think the main problem with Lush Cherry, so